This is the voice of Killer Cross.
This is the pretty badass Kelly Klein.
The interview queen, Alicia Atu.
This is AJ Kirsch, one half of the MLW commentary team.
This is Brittany Savage.
We're about to take it to the max.
And take it to the max.
It's time to take it to the max.
It's time to take it to the max.
Your host, Mr. Mike, the podcast machine, the first ever Max Wrestling Grand Slam champion, and joining me today is the one, the only Mr. C to Cypher himself, Corey L. Coulter, aka Cypher. Corey, it's a pleasure to have you on In the Hot Seat. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm having fun. I'm back for another round of the podcast machine, Michael Larkin. Let's get it, baby.
Yeah, man. So if you guys want to go check out StephenMikeShow.com, check out the Pop Culture History Podcast, check out WrestlingWithWrestling.com, Andre Corba. You can check out Cypher, Mr. Corey, and I talking some pop culture, some rap, the whole nine, man. So you guys go back and listen to that. Link will be in the description under this. So, dude, you've been killing it promo-wise. We're talking about you getting involved into the promo league, now the promo order. I got to say, first and foremost, the last time that we saw you in promo action, in a promo exhibition, dude, you held your own. One of your best promos to date, and that was against the one, the only Miss Brittany Savage. Dude, I loved it. Shooting your shot. It had the feel of the rap video, being a rapper that you are. Dude, I love the way that was shot.
Hey, I had to come different for this one because, see, she is professional. She's the real deal. So I had to come at her a different way, different than any opponent I've faced so far. So I had to do what I had to do.
So for me, I was doing this as a judge. I'm watching this, and here's what cracked me up. Number one, you were doing it outside. I think a fly kind of came your way, and we were laughing at this. You kind of like swatted the fly out of the way, which cracked me up. But other than that, well, it had the feel well, dude, it had the feel of the rap video. You're by the whip, you know what I'm saying? Dare I say, it kind of reminded me of like a little Welcome to Atlanta. You're about to drop bows on them, that Southern hospitality. You were channeling your inner Luda, man. You were channeling your inner Luda.
Hey, we dropped bows on my Cadillac. I don't have a Cadillac, but I have a Bravada, an Oldsmobile. I had to make it work somehow.
Yeah, throw them bows. So, I mean...
You already know. Early 2000s hip-hop, baby. That's what we're about.
That's what's up. But, yeah, no, dude, that's the thing. Like, watching what you did with Brittany. And Brittany, here's the thing. The use of her child's microphone and the fact that, you know, my name is Brett. I don't take no shit. Mess with me. Gonna get hit. She hit you with a little flavor.
Yes, she did. And I was kind of surprised. I was like, damn, Shawty got bars a little bit. I'm like, all right, I see you, Miss Savage. Hats off to you. Definitely hats off to you. I see you. She definitely came to play, and, we had fun doing it. Hey, if I had a chance to face her again, I would.
I was about to say, you with your shooting your shot and sweeping them off her feet. Dude, look what I've been dealing with the last three. Well, dude, look what I've been dealing with the last 3 years of my Pop Culture History podcast. That woman is beautiful inside and out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be my opponent at Promo Series in November. You'll see a special exhibition with yours truly against Brittany Savage. So be on the lookout for that. That's what I got to deal with. The heat, man, in November.
Yo, you better be ready for a lot of heat. We're not talking about jalapeno habanero. We're talking straight ghost pepper Carolina Reaper, baby.
I hear you on that, but I gotta say, you know me, you know what I could do. A lot of people know me, former promo champ, the whole nine. Now I'm a judge. And speaking of that, we'll talk about me for a sec, then we'll get into you. Dude, myself and Daniel Crimmins, it's Promo Slam. It is the pre-launch. Are you looking forward to it, man? We got a lot of great bouts on Promo Slam so far. We got the Shape back in action against Travis the Walker Anderson. So I gotta ask you, what do you think of how Promo Slam's shaping up so far? Pun intended. Shape versus Travis, and yours truly against Daniel Crimmins.
I gotta say, no pun intended, but the card is definitely looking stacked. I can't wait to see what happens. Definitely a lot of raw talent, raw emotion going into this. But at the end of the day, it's just fun. It's a family, it's a bond. And I can't wait to see what happens. I might make an appearance there myself.
Well, that you might, because as we are recording this, folks, next week, Cypher takes on his very good friend, a friend who he's known since Dappers, Mr. Travis the Walker Anderson, in the opening round of King of the Mic. Corey, your first King of the Mic competition, last year's winner was yours truly. We're bringing it back this year. Whole crop of talent that are in there. You got Travis in the first round.
I got to tell you, since I started, I kind of knew that one day I was going to have to face Travis, the Walker Anderson. And you know what? I couldn't be more proud of the moment. I couldn't be more honored. But I'm not going to lie. Travis may have bit off more than he can chew. And I'm not talking about Laffy Taffy or bubble gum, but like some hard candy type shit. Like he bit off way more than he could chew. I mean, that's my boy through and through, but he ain't going to beat me. I'm going to make sure of that.
And of course, looking at the bracket right now, the winner of Cypher versus Travis the Walker Anderson will take on the winner of someone, actually two gentlemen that you are both very familiar with, Mr. Cypher. The winner of Mike Jolly, the heavy metal Jesus, the Oddity, against Ted P. DeNiro, the OTH, the one true heel. The winner of that will take on the winner of you and Travis in the semifinals.
Definitely a full circle thing right now. Definitely something that I kind of expected to happen along this hard and, rocky road. But, if I can beat them once, I can beat them again. My confidence is through the roof, and I'm reaching for the stars for this one. So whoever I face, bring it on all the way.
All right, and besides that, guys, in the King of the Mic tournament, we also have the newcomer Ronald Hill, also out of North Carolina. Hey. We got Ronald Hill taking on Moses Marquez. Moses Marquez, who we just saw get a title bout against the Demoness for the promo championship. I want to ask you about this. Your boy Ronald, Travis's boy Ronald, against Moses Marquez, who I'm going to say right now, it's full circle because for those that know, last year in King of the Mic, he took on Travis, and that's where the infamous 9% came from. I think he's come leaps and bounds full circle. Moses Marquez and Ronald Hill, what do you think?
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know right now, Ronald is a good friend of mine, a brother. He's from Philly. He definitely has a knack for this promo thing. Like, he puts 120, 130, however much percent he's going to put into it, that's how much you're going to get from him. And I'm telling you now, I mean, Moses Marquez, he has the most experience going into this bout, but like you just can't judge a book by its cover, man. So we're gonna see what happens between Moses Marquez and Mr. Ron Hill, aka my bruh from Philly.
Okay, and I will apologize because I just went full North Carolina on that, and I just realized I just mixed up Ronald Hill with Zach Carring. My apologies. I apologize. Ronald Hill from Philly. Now, is it North Philly or which kind of Philly? Is it Motown Philly? What's the deal with Philly?
Motown Philly, Boyz II Men, West Philadelphia, born and raised. Will Smith. Mm-hmm. He's just representing his whole city as a whole, man. And he comes down to North Carolina. He stayed here before, so he's part North Carolina. He's Carolinian.
He's part Carolinian. I see what you did there. Nice.
Yeah, I had to. Like, that's my bro through and through. I mean, from graduation, before that, I met Ron back in 06, 07. So we've been pretty tight since then. So, like I said, I can't wait to see what happens when him and Moses Marquez go head-to-head, mano-a-mano. Rocky versus Clubber Lang, I guess you could say.
All right. And then the final opening round bout, we have the current reigning and defending knowledge champion, the Phoenix, taking on newcomer from the Jokers Club podcast, hosted as well by Mr. Rob Chef, Crooked Smile, who, for those that don't know, Crooked Smile, like Brittany Savage, is also a professional wrestler, wrestling out of Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling in Florida. So we got another wrestler in the King of the Mic, and he's taking on the Phoenix.
I know the Phoenix. I've faced the Phoenix, and unfortunately I came up short against the Phoenix, but it was a good bout through and through. And as for him and Rob Sheffner, that one I'm anxious to see because, coming up against newcomers, but they have the credibility and, they have the accolades outside of here and they bring it into the promo league. I mean, you can't get more better than that.
Exactly. And Crooked Smile, one of Chef's boys here. I'm going to say this right now. People, if you've not seen Crooked Smile, he's a dude that can do it very well as far as the promo game goes. He's an up-and-comer. He's a youngin', but I look forward to seeing what Crooked Smile does against the Phoenix. And that right there is your King of the Mic bracket. Now, speaking of Rob Chef next week will be going against the Demoness for the Promo Championship, and the winner of that will face the winner of King of the Mic at Promo Slam in August. What are your thoughts on Chef versus the Demon next week for the Promo Championship?
Man, I have to say, bro, I've faced the Demoness as well. Yeah. And unfortunately there I came up short too, but I think that was one of my best bouts next to the Savage bout because the Demoness is a very dark individual.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to study how to approach her because I paid attention what Travis said and paid attention what you said. Everybody goes dark against her, like try to fight darkness with darkness.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to switch it up and hit her with a little bit of that light, hit her with a lot of light. And, unfortunately I came up short, but at the same time, it was a hell of a bout. And, I can't, like I said, like I'm anxious for this whole card. Like it's just super stacked, full of talent. I'm excited. Like I can't contain my excitement anymore. If I do, I'm gonna spontaneously combust.
I agree with you on that. Now, here's the thing with me, because we also did mention Daniel Crimmins, who's also a fellow judge. I'm going to say this about Daniel Crimmins. So, like myself, Daniel Crimmins also was in the inaugural promo climax. He was in the promo climax too, but he had to leave early due to personal reasons, which totally understand. The last bout that Daniel Crimmins had was against Robert Davis in promo climax too, and now he is back. His first bout. And I'm going to say this right now, people. This is Daniel Crimmins' debut on the Max Wrestling specials, and it's against yours truly. So for me, I am looking forward to this because I'm going to say this right now, and I think you can agree with me on this. I've never faced Daniel Crimmins, so having new, fresh competition, I think, is awesome.
There's nothing like having fresh competition to see just where you're at.
Yep.
Talent-wise, where you're at mentally. Like, it's like you ask yourself, how do you prepare for someone you've never faced? And the answer to that is the best you can. You get whatever ammo you need, you load that gun up, and then you just go mano-a-mano to the last man standing. Sort of like the Undertaker, AJ Styles Boneyard match.
Oh, one of my favorites. And by the way, I'm going to ask you, have you seen the full documentary yet?
I've watched all 5 parts of The Last Ride, and from beginning to end, I've had cold chills. I'm not gonna lie, I cried a little bit. That's just something.
I got a little misty, Corey.
I did too, and it's just one of the things. Like you grow up watching your heroes, and now they're getting older and not been able to perform like they used to. It's sad to see, but at the same time, they're starting a new chapter in their life. I had to say thank you, Taker. Like if I had a crowd behind me right now, we'd be chanting, "Thank you, Taker." Yeah.
Well, no, man. I'm gonna say this right now. I think that's one of those stories where just put him in the Hall of Fame, man. 30 years. What a career that is, though. 30 years.
30 years, 30 long
years.
hard years. Like he's been out since the 80s, and now it's 2020, and he's like, you know what? The cowboy done rode his last ride. He's done.
Yep, he's a troubadour, man. He's a troubadour.
He is. It makes me think, like, man, whether his name is The Undertaker or Mark Calloway, I mean, hey, I respect the dude wholeheartedly. I mean, he made WWE, should I say, phenomenal.
Like to play on words. Mr. Coryell Coulter, we're going to go back to you here because this is In the Hot Seat with Coryell Coulter, a.k.a. Cypher. You, my friend, I'm going to say this right now. I remember when Travis was talking about bringing in this guy, and then we saw your debut, your introduction around Podcast Promo 5 time earlier this year. And I thought to myself, this is cool because, new fresh blood, new fresh meat. I'm going to ask you, from coming from where you were to January to where you are now, you're in the King of the Mic. I'm going to say this to you. Like, Travis bringing you in has kind of been like, I'm going to say it's like a godsend because we get new fresh people in there like yourself, like we mentioned Ronald. But you, I got to say, you've come a long way since the first bout with Ted Pitanero back in January.
Yeah, I've definitely seen an evolution in myself. No pun intended to you, Mr. Triple H, and your faction, but it's been an evolution for me because see, when I first started, I didn't have as much confidence going into this as I do now. Because me personally, it takes me a while to get warmed up, get used to the feel of, hey, you're gonna have to go against somebody. And Travis reminded me time and time again, like, hey, this is just for fun. Like, have fun with it. Do your best. We're all family here. And when he kept pounding in my head, and when I finally got it, I was finally able to say, hey, I'm ready. Let's go. Like I had to put 100. I shouldn't even say 100. I had to put 1,000% into everything that I do. And I got to say, Ted P. De Niro, my first match, dude, thank you. Thank you for giving me my first match, man. I appreciate it. And, like if I get past the Walker and I face either him or Mike Jolly, I'm ready. Like, I'm excited. I just love to see where this goes.
Now, the thing for me is, I'm going to say this, since you said like 1,000, you're going to learn today, come get this pound in T-Pain Boot Up remix. It's one of those things where...
Yeah, man, I got to say, I love it when you do that. Like, hands down, the very best in the podcast business. I got to say that.
Ah, thank you. Well, no, man, that's just how I was raised, man. You got music, all different types of art forms, and that's what it is. I'm going to say this right now. Promos like music are an artistic expression. I think yourself, guys like you, guys like Teddy, and guys like Amir, all being artists, I mean, y'all show your creativity in each and every promo that you do. Some are very straight to the point. Like, I'll be honest with you, when Ted P. De Niro called Zach Herring, I feel pretty and witty and you're gay, last year in the promo Climax 2, that was funny because it's a play on words of one of the musicals, I Feel Pretty. And then what he did with Trippy Wolf, talking eating the chips, and somebody tell Riff Raff's cousin I accept. Like, I'll be honest with you, that's funny. That was funny.
Like, still to this day, and I talk to Trippy daily, and I catch myself calling him Riff Raff just out of love. He just say, "Man, shut up, man." And it was funny. It tickled my funny bone, but I had to give Trippy where credit's due. Like, when he showed me his promo before he showed anybody else, I was amazed that he used It Man in the beginning of his promo, and I was amazed. I was like, dude, you have a gift for this, and I knew it was a good idea to bring you into this. So I had to give Trippy credit for that. But back to Ted P. De Niro, I mean, he's just straight to the point. Like, he don't hold back. He don't think about it. He just does it. Like, he goes in full force. He just brings it. And that's one of the things that stood out to me about Ted when we first had our bout. Like, it's amazing what different elements are used and combined to make this promo league glorious.
Thank you, Bobby Roode. Glorious. I won't give in. I won't give in.
I am glorious.
Now, I'm going to say this right now. Can you imagine if that was originally, because that was originally going to be Shinsuke Nakamura's theme. Could you imagine if that was Shinsuke Nakamura's theme?
Listen, I'm good with Shinsuke coming in with the hard rock and violins.
Me too.
Not coming in like Bobby Roode and flapping his arms around. And, I just wouldn't be comfortable with that. I prefer Shinsuke being the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. Come on!
So
I love him. I love him to death.
see, and here's the thing. People crapped on him because when he first came in, he's going against Dolph Ziggler, and they kind of, I'll be honest with you, I was waiting for him to win the title from AJ, but they turned him heel. But I got to say, each and every time, you can put him in the United States Championship front, the Intercontinental title front. I like me some Shinsuke Nakamura from New Japan, Ring of Honor. The dude can work, and he's a joy, and now he's doing his thing with Cesaro. Looks to be going for the tag titles.
Hey, him and Cesaro would be, I'm not going to say will be, they're going to be the hardest tag team to beat once they get those titles, because if you look at the work that Shinsuke's done and you look at the work Cesaro's done, both has been in the business for a long time. Both have accolades outside of WWE that is absolutely tremendous. Tremendous. And you're putting these two dudes together, these two different dudes, but somewhat similar, because they both held titles. They both have tag team, credentials. So, I think that would make perfect sense to put them together.
Oh, of course. And for me, I mean, you look at Cesaro with this run with Tyson Kidd, with Sheamus. I mean, of course, Chris Hero and the Kings of Wrestling. Like, I've had the chance to see Claudio Castagnoli wrestle live for Ring of Honor on Long Island when he took on Milano Collection AT, who is now an announcer for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like, that man has come a long way. So, I mean, I agree with you, man. One of the most hard-hitting, the Cesaro swing, each and every part of that. I cannot wait to see him and Nakamura become the tag champs, because you know what's coming. And I think it's long overdue, in my opinion, Mr. Corey.
It is long overdue. And you see all these guys in WWE that's not really, been able to get that shot, but have hella good potential. And, Cesaro being hard hitting, with the uppercuts, and Shinsuke with the knees and kicks. I mean, that is a tag team made in heaven, and I cannot wait to see what happens once they get the gold.
You know what it is too? It's one of those things where, and I'll go back to the promos here for a second. Like seeing people get the gold. Like I think a lot of people, when you see people like the Demoness, who was the current reigning and defending promo champion, one of the fastest rising of the characters and of many people that are in this promo order as it is now. Like she came into the promo climax too. She was beating everybody, and she always goes back to the fact that I was her one and only loss. But from ever since November, a lot of people wanted to see her become promo champion, which she did by beating Travis at last year's a couple months ago's Promo Mania. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where you see people like the Demoness come, and it's just like you faced her, and you were talking about facing her. I'm gonna say this right now. You talk about Brittany and you talk about Nicola. You killed it with the light stuff. And see, here I like that because I'm going to do the pop culture reference. Mary Shackles, Kirk Franklin, do you want a revolution? Whoop, whoop. I get it. I love it. I love the gospel. You know what I'm saying? So I liked where you were going with that. And then the combative, of course, of light versus dark. But, like I said, man, like you from the Teddy promo to the Nicola promo, and then we'll get to the promo league. Mike Jolly is an interesting one because he's very creative. He's very out there, very insane, if you will, but he's got that dark side about him too. And I got to say, you outcame that darkness when you took on Mike Jolly.
Yeah, like, and Mike Jolly, yeah, he literally made me have to think a little bit because, see, with the difference between him and Nicola is because it's two different sets of darks. It's like two different shades. It's like dark black and light black, I guess you could say. And and I got to give Mr. Jolly credit too because like without going against him, I couldn't be able to get better, and that's what I do with each opponent. I have to study each opponent I go against and try to figure out, okay, I've done this, I've done that. What is next? What can I do to evolve to get better? And Heavy Metal Jesus. I mean, that's him. That is Mike Jolly. And I had to hit him with a little bit of the Beast of the 828, which y'all don't know much about that, but hey, here we are now.
Hey, man, you got the bark. I saw that you were talking about the bark. Don't take food off my table. That was straight grit. That was straight raw, and you went for his head. Mike, like as I mentioned, he went with the creepy music. He went with the whole darkness, rolling his eyes in the back of his head. But I think Mike, and the only browse that we've seen him go against being yourself and being Brittany Savage, like, I like that. You know what I'm saying? He's very different. He adds a lot. Now he's going against Ted P. Dinero, which I could tell you right now, expect something different from Mike Jolly, the host of the Washington Wrestle Talk podcast, my buddy. I'm going to say this right now. Ted P. Dinero, you are in for a treat when you go against Mr. Mike Jolly in a couple weeks' time in the first round match at King of the Mic. See, that's why I love this, man, because I also look at it like this. Your boy, Mr. Travis the Walker Anderson, like you guys had that little tease before your bout with Nicola, staring each other down with Travis's promo championship. Here's the thing about Travis. He's your best friend. He's one of my best friends. I love him to death. But can I just say one thing about my fellow captain, that is Travis the Walker Anderson? I think you can agree with me on this, and I love him to death when I say this. He talks a lot of shit. And what I mean by that is the fact that he was semifinal in King of the Mic with myself, and that build from him to get to where he became the promo champion. But then he wins the promo championship, and as we see now, he is the shortest reigning promo champion. So he's got a lot to gain, and he doesn't mind going against a friend like yourself to get back to where he was with that promo championship. So I expect nothing but the best and nothing but less from Mr. Travis the Walker Anderson.
Hey, look, man, I absolutely agree with you. Travis does talk a lot. He talks a big game. And I knew then when we had that little teaser facing off that it was going to come back full circle. So it was the beginning of our story. It wasn't really set in stone, but I knew like eventually me and him would go at it. Now, I've known Travis for years. Love Travis, love him like a brother. We played basketball together. We done this, we done that. We went to school. We graduated Drone High School right here, Valdez, North Carolina, And I got to say, I've seen Travis's work. I've seen what he's done. And I got to say, I'm impressed. But at the same time, I hate to be a little bit cocky, but it's not cockiness, it's confidence. I believe I can beat Travis. Now, this is why. Travis knows little about what I've done. Like, he knows that I can do music. He knows I can be creative. But what Travis doesn't know is how strategic I am. Like, I have a mind that he's not faced. Now, he's seen my goofy side and he's seen my wild side. He's even seen a little bit of the bad side. But when I face him, it's going to be strategic. Now, he's been talking crap about beating my ass in this promo, King of the Mic thing, and I look at Travis, and I had to smile at him because I'm like, dude, you're about what? Not even 6 foot yet, and you're gonna beat my ass? No, sir. Daddy had to put you in that corner real quick and show you who runs this house.
I'm going to say this about him, and this is why I respect and admire him. Dude is not just in promos, but outside of this, I'm going to tell you something about Travis the Walker Anderson. Very hardworking and a family man, and just an all-around good dude, a fun dude, and I truly mean that. But when it comes to promos, and here's where the chase comes. When he was chasing the promo champion at the time, he was really intent on going for that promo championship. So when I won the King of the Mic, I was the one who was facing the promo champion at the time, and it became a four-way with said person, Travis, and Robert Davis, and that's what started the Mikey Two Belts reign. Now, he won his block in the promo climax. I won my block. I beat him to retain there, but he also got a great victory over Andre Corbeil. Then we get to the Maxi special, and I got to say, he's one of my favorite opponents because we have chemistry, but I also look at the same time from the storytelling aspect, because you mentioned a key word there, a key ingredient, that being storytelling. Like, I've beaten him once, twice, three times. If he didn't beat me this go around, I'm going to say this right now, that's not a good story, because if I just keep winning, then what's the point? The man has to win. The ultimate underdog has to get that. You know what I'm saying? So then he wins the promo championship. That's story fulfilled, and I think that's great at what really led to our story. Plus the fact that, I'll be honest with you, at around that time, and I think he can attest to this, we both got sick of facing each other. So I think the story was told for him, and then my story getting back to where I did. So I think everything kind of came into place, if that makes sense. So that's why I just wanted to put him in praise in regards to Travis the Walker Anderson, if that makes sense, Corey.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. See, y'all remind me of, the Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano trilogy. That's exactly what I'm pictured when you was talking about all that. They had their trilogy and they won their titles back to back, but ultimately, Adam Cole, a better man, won. That's what it just reminded me of.
And that's what it is, and that's how I feel about him, because I'm going to say this right now. Besides being very creative, whether it be his mask, whether it being lightsabers, because he used that Star Wars lightsaber on me, it's one of those things where he's got a mind, and I look at it like he's been the predictions champion, he's been the promo champion. He only needs to win the knowledge championship. He needs to win the Iron Bank contract. He's almost on his way to becoming a Grand Slam champion. That's why I enjoy guys like him and Moses Marquez, and of course Robert Davis, who we're sending best wishes to during this time. It's one of those things, man, where I just can't wait to see how everybody grows and develops. And for you, Mr. Cypher, I want to see you hold some promo gold in the future, which I know will be happening sooner rather than later. So for you, I'm going to say this right now. Besides the opponents that you have, whether it be, like I mentioned, whether it be Mike Jolly, whether it be Teddy, whether it be Moses, whether it be Ronald Hill, whether it even be Crooked Smile or the Phoenix, I'm going to say this to you, and then we're going to talk about your individual promos. Is there anyone in particular that you want to face that you haven't faced yet? Or are you just ready to see what's on the horizon for you?
To be honest, I had to say, I'm one of those people that accepts all challenges. I don't care who it's from, where it comes from, whether it's Max Wrestling, RWT, somewhere outside. Like, if you want to face me, I'm not going to tell you no. That's not how you grow. You don't grow by getting comfortable. You grow by getting out of your comfort zone and going and kick the other person's ass as best as you can. That's what it's all about. That's life. Like, you don't sit there and wait for something to happen. You don't sit there and wait for something to happen. You got to get up and got to go get it. Like, that's the grind. That's life. You keep grinding. You don't stop. Even when you're tired and you're aggravated and you hate having to get up time and time again, the payoff will be most rewarding. And I had to say, Mr. Mike Larkin, you're definitely on my list of somebody that I would like to face in the near future, just to see, like, we've talked about pop culture, hip hop, we've done all that, and I would say I would say I like to face you in the near future. Friendly little competition, nothing, out of the way.
Well, I'm going to say this right now. You were actually in the list of one of my one-offs. Like right now, I'm going to say this right now. The build for Mike Larkin right now is just to have fun and be a judge. You know what I'm saying? And just really just do one-offs. I got Daniel Crimmins coming up, who I've never faced. Brittany Savage, which you can expect some pop culture in that. My goodness, that's going to be fun. I can't wait for that. And then I got Moses Marquez next year, Promo Mania. Now, I made the challenge a year out. I can't wait to see what Moses does, because I've been making fun of him with his promos on the SoundCloud.com, that's Smokemark Radio, and pretty much implying the fact that, that he's a hype man. You know what I'm saying? Dare I say, Corey L. Coulter, Mr. Cypher, I'm going to say this right now. Moses, being the self-promotional man whore that he is, he's got to get the plugs in. You know what I'm saying? Even talk about the plugs, the PLUGS with the plugs. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Moses and I do. But yes, I will say this right now. Possibly within the new year, I definitely look to do one with you. You know what I'm saying? Hello with your, so have some fun with that in the new year.
Hey man, I'm saying whatever match you want, a beatbox match, a dance battle, a rap off. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and it's the same as any other opponent. The possibilities are endless. I could end up facing Mike Jolly or Ted P, and then end up facing Ron, Crooked Smile. I could face anybody in this King of the Mic.
It's one of those things where we're probably, if you and I were to do it, it'd be like Genuine Ain't None of Your Friends' Business, the dance break. Doom da da doom doom there to get the broom going. You know what I'm saying? Ice talk, ice talk, ice talk. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Or we can go like breaking Electric Boogaloo too. We can do a little pop locking.
Oh, drop it.
Oh God, and I gotta say, while we're on the topic of that, I gotta say R.I.P. to Huey. The man that made the song "Pop Lock and Drop It." He died recently, and that was one of the songs that like got me through high school. I gotta say that right now. So R.I.P. Huey.
There's been a lot of music that have died, like you mentioned Huey, and here's one that broke my heart. Again, not on the rap front, but on the pop front. So for those that remember Dream Street, Chris Truesdale, one of the lead singers of that group, died from the coronavirus. He was only in his early 30s. Corey, he's like 33, 34. And I'm like, that dude, it was very brief, but it launched the career of Jesse McCartney in acting and singing. I'm like, Jesus, man, 2020. What in the world? You know what I'm saying? It's just been a crap year with the pandemic, the whole nine. It's horrible, but you got to stay positively proactive, get your mind right, get your grind right, got to keep going. Ice Cube Crazy Bone style. You know what I'm saying, Cypher?
I absolutely understand what you're saying. 2020 has definitely been the worst, like earwax, like overgrown toenail, just nasty, it's rough. And speaking on 2020, there's a lot of stuff going on, outside the world of COVID. There's a lot of, racism going on. And I know that's a touchy subject to talk about, but I got to say, like, for the most part, it saddens me to see that even in 2020, like here, right now, like you still have that type of negative influence. Like it breaks my heart sometimes because I've been through that, and I don't talk about it much and I don't speak on it much, but I've been through it, and I know it's a different type of hurt. And I just want to let everybody know that's like from North Carolina. It doesn't matter. Valdez, Drexel, Morganton, Hickory, Lenore, just like it doesn't matter. The whole state. I mean, listen, y'all may not know who I am, but I would like to say that, 2020 is a time to be together and not separate. Like, excuse me. I feel like separation causes more damage as if we would come together and actually like, create something like beautiful. Like it's just, I don't see why, there's things like that still exist. But hey, I mean, it goes back to, the great grandparents. It's what people were taught. I mean, you don't have to learn it, but at the same time, I understand that's what some people were taught. So, I don't mean to get on the subject of race or nothing like that. It's just, I love everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you don't know me. I don't care if you know me. I have love for everybody. And, if that makes me weak or like weak minded, then, that's what it is, people's opinions. But at the same time, God told me to love everybody, and that's what I'm going to do.
So you're fine with touching upon that because I'm going to mention a term here, united, not divided. I mean, I'm going to say this right now. I don't care if you're black, white, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Any color of the rainbow. I don't care what your nationality is, orientation, whatever. You got to love everybody, man. It's a united, not divided front. That's what I'm taught. It's a little thing called TAC. It's a little thing called values, Corey. So, yeah, people, during this time, I mean, you think we've come a long way since the days of the I had a dream speech. You know what I'm saying? I have a dream, excuse me, Martin Luther King Jr. You think we've come a long way, but unfortunately, stuff like that still exists in 2020. So people, with what's going on in the world, whether it be racism, whether it be the pandemic, whether just in be in general, be kind to one another because it's a tough time for everybody.
I absolutely agree. A very tough time. Like, this year has been full of negativity, like to the brim. Like, it's overflowing. And I see people every day wanting to give up and, just wanting to be down in the dumps. And, I've had days like that. I'm not going to lie. I'm human. I've had days where I wanted to throw in the towel and just be like, you know what, screw it. But at the same time, my family told me I can do all things through Christ that strengthen me. And to this day, I still use that to get me through anything. And, if people can learn that, it'll be amazing what we can do together instead of what, like, devastation we can do apart.
I think that's also, and taking it back to promos because this ties in and correlates. I think that's why I liked your promo with the likes of the Demoness and how you did with, with Mike Jolly and just with everybody, just your words, because I could tell. I mean, especially with the Demoness, like, look, man, I'm a man of faith and I'm very spiritual, so I love that side of you, and I love that being who you are, and it really resonates and generates with each and every promo that you do because it comes from a good place. It comes from the heart. It's very real. I think it's very authentic, and a lot of people can relate to what you're saying. I think that's what makes a promo, and that's what makes you who you are.
Exactly. And people around here know me. Like, I'm not just some random guy off the street. Like, I've had to build up my credibility as a person, first before I can ever build up my credibility as a performer or an artist. Like, bonds start with gaining respect, not earning it. You have to gain it. Now, there were times where, yeah, I demanded it. Like, I was naive. Also, I was a young kid at the time. So, it's just, you gotta learn life lessons early so that when it comes back around, you'll be ready for it. Because it does say history does repeat itself, and in 2020, it's true. History is repeating itself, but it doesn't have to. Like, it can always be altered or changed. And, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the next half of this year and see how it goes and see how things change, because nothing stays the same. Like, things change. It's like in the promo league. You don't face the same opponent multiple times. You get new opponents, new faces, new challenges, which that's what I feel like life should be. It should be about new opportunities, new friends, new bonds. And, I know, like, people are going to listen to this and be like, dang, I never thought about it like that. And, it's just one of those things. Like, I think differently about everything. I try not to let social media and everything tell me how to think. And I know that's a little bit off the wall, but at the same time, this is who I am. Like, I'm still trying to get used to, being a leader.
That's the thing, man. I think everybody, like you mentioned, the social media, another great point. Like, everybody kind of just clamors to social media. If it's on social media, then it must be true. If it's on social media, hey, it's popping. That's the thing, man. Like, for me, like, I was so anti-social media. The only reason I got a Facebook because somebody in high school wanted to be a friend of me on Facebook. So I'm like, all right. And then it turned into, it helps. It's the pros about it is you get to help grow your brand, whether it be in podcasting, whatever endeavor you do. But the cons, it's just, dude, it's too negative. And it's people that just open up their mouths and talk out their asses, and it's just people spreading a lot of bullshit out there. That's the part I can do without, as well as trolling. But then there's people like you, which is a plus, that spread a lot of good energy into the world. And a lot of what we're doing, I'm going to say good energy. Max Wrestling is a lot of good energy right now. We got myself, we got Daz, we got Moses Marquez, we got Travis the Walker Anderson, we got you, we got the Demoness, we got every single body involved in the promo order. I think it's great because what we are doing is spreading a lot of positivity. We're also giving a platform for people to tell their stories. And we got a unique setup. We got a unique layout with trivia, with promo challenges. I think that's fun. I think that's what a lot of people need to do in their lives is have some fun, Mr. Corey.
Fun is definitely needed. Fun, good laughs, good vibes in general. And back to promo league, we have different people from like different backgrounds, coming together and bringing like the best entertainment possible. Like none of this like could be possible if we didn't work together, and didn't like come together as a family, which I tell people all the time. Like I've recently left the link and I'm telling people, yeah, check out Max Wrestling, check out RWT, check out what I'm doing, like check out what these other people are doing to like, spread joy. Like I kind of feel like sometimes it was meant for me to be the person to just put a smile on people. Like I've always had that dream, that passion to do it. But as support goes, I mean, I have my family that supports me. I have my friends that support me, and I thank you guys. But I always look to see, like, I want to see everybody I want to see everybody like support me like I support them. Give a little and receive a little. Like it doesn't have to be a whole lot, just enough for us to build each other up and make towards a better future.
I think that's what it's about, man. I always say the terms inspire and courage, and I think you said that beautifully in your sentiments there. You have to, because if you could put a smile on somebody's face, evoke an emotion, resonate, generate them, that's the most rewarding feeling ever. You know what I'm saying? You're out there to make a difference. You're out there to help people. You're out there to raise some positivity, awareness, what have you. It's wonderful. So I'm going to say this right now. Keep on keeping on with what you're doing. And I'm going to say this as well. Missed Call. I got it on my SoundCloud. I reposted. I love that damn song.
Yo, like Missed Call, like shout out to my boy Apollo Rich. Like, me and him, we've made songs with Trippy Wolf and Jay Graves and had that music video out in 2018 called Love Over Hate, shot by Mr. Justin Turner. Thank you, sir, for doing that for us. You didn't have to, but you did. And I keep coming back and telling like people, I didn't do it for me. Like that's not what this was about. I do it for everybody because there's people out here that don't know who I am, and I'm trying to make a name for myself the best way possible without going like the usual routes that usually lead to trouble. It's just Missed Call, I See Fire, um, just a bunch of songs, bunch of like videos that I've made. I didn't do it for me, and the the names that I mentioned will also tell you that they didn't do it for themselves. They did it to entertain, and that's what this is all about. Is to entertain, is to get everybody away from the negative BS. Come here and find a positive outlet to plug into.
Amen to that, my friend. I also look at it like you were talking about, positive outlook. And for me, like you talk about music and professional wrestling. I'm going to say this right now. If it wasn't for music and professional wrestling, not steering down the wrong path, whether it be drugs or a bad road, a dangerous road, if you will, that's what helps people get through stuff like what we do at Wrestling Music. I've been through depression and I've been through thick and thin, man. But if you have something that really is like your vice that helps you, and it's a positive vice and it's a positive road that leads you down to a great path and just a path of success, I think that's wonderful. And I think what you're doing, you're providing a lot for the people with your music, your words, and the promos, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you right now, man. Out of each and every one of your promos, and I can say this speaking as your friend and as a judge, you have just grown, and we've touched upon that in this forum today. But I gotta say, the only one that I was kind of about, and I think we've touched upon this, like, and here's the thing, a lot of people in the promo league and the promo order, I gotta say this, y'all like to do promos from your car. And I just want to say, you riding home with the Phoenix there. It wasn't bad, but I gotta say, out of all the promos that you've done, that one I was kind of like, eh. But I gotta say, you put in an effort from being behind the whip. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't watch you nay nay. We watched you driving to your home. So I
Yeah,
wanted to.
You saw me driving Miss Daisy that night because I was literally on my way home, and I just had to. I was like, I have nothing really put together, and I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and knock this out. And I don't hate myself for it, but I knew that was not one of my best ones. So I kind of took that as a reminder to don't do something somebody else does and just, do something else, like something original, like what I've done against Mike Jolly and Brittany Savage and the Demoness and Ted, But I gotta say, I mean, I enjoyed my bout with the Phoenix. The Phoenix brought it, definitely. But I decided I'm not going to be driving anymore while doing my promos. Like the next one, you might actually see me skydive or surfboard.
I was ready for you to do, Baby, I'm Coming Home, like Mark Henry and John Cena 2013, put on a World's Strongest Slam. I still got a lot left in the tank.
A little bit of sexual chocolate and a little bit of Dr. Thugonomics at the same time. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. I'm going to put over Craig here, and this is why I love Phoenix. Like, Craig, when we used to do Max, we used to do a lot of trivia challenges, and if we lost, we'd have to cut a promo. That was in audio form. Now, Craig is going into his own as, he's always been the demon of the Welsh Valleys, but Craig has been doing his thing now being the two-time knowledge champ. From the video format, he's not doing bad. He's owning it to the character. It's very short, to the point, and very brief. Like, I gotta say, Craig is really, that being Phoenix, and I know him as Craig, so I'm just gonna fucking call him Craig. Craig has been doing his thing.
Craig and Day.
Speak when spoken to, fool. Friggin' raise your hand if you want to speak to me, fool. You can call on Tyrone.
Oh man, back to the Friday reference. I swear, best movies trilogy hands down. Like the third one was alright.
Yeah,
The third one was alright. It was alright, but I have to say the Phoenix definitely, and no pun intended to you, Mr. Seth Rollins, but the Phoenix burned it down. That's what Phoenix do.
He does, and like I said, I cannot wait to see more from the Phoenix. I can't wait to see more out of anybody, out of all you, man. So I'm gonna leave it like this. It's one of those things, people. King of the Mic is back. We had a hell of a King of the Mic last year that launched yours truly to becoming Mikey Two Belts at last year's Promo Slam. So if you guys have not seen that King of the Mic, go back and watch my bouts with Courtney Summers, Robert Davis, Travis the Walker Anderson. Watch Emir versus Robert Davis. Watch Moni versus Robert Davis. Watch Daniel Crimmins in there against Emir. Watch Moses Marquez get the 9% against Travis the Walker Anderson. That was what you get from last year's King of the Mic. And here's the thing that I love. I've sent this to Ronald so he can get an idea of what we did last year. I also sent this to you. I got to ask you, from what you saw at last year's King of the Mic, what did you think?
It's definitely different. It's definitely different than, your average promo. King of the Mic is like, I feel like you have to put in a lot more effort into that than actually like cutting a promo. And to getting more into that means, you actually have to like, know what you're doing, and you actually have to plan it out. It's not something you can just be like, oh, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, not plan it out, just wing it. No, you cannot wing King of the Mic. And I know that rhymed. Didn't mean it to rhyme, but it sounded fine at the time. Sorry. Bars for days, people. Bars for days, people. Y'all know how I do. Cypher, baby. 828's finest.
Well, we had a brief cutout there, but here's what's funny about that. We had a poor connection, so I filibustered there, people. Corey coming back with the bars. Mike won the King of the Mic, the whole nine, and the bars for days. I like that. Can you repeat just what you said? We had a brief poor connection. Go ahead.
All right. I was like, King of the Mic. Actually, I'm just go ahead and lay it out like this without the bars, because y'all already know what I can do. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this: King of the Mic, whether it's wrong or it's right, you have to be tight, or you're gonna say night night. And I know that's not the best, but that's the best I can do, because I gotta ask Travis the Walker to Anderson, what you gonna do when the cipher comes for you? Boom.
Boom. We'll leave it on that. So, Mr. Cypher, dude, it's always a pleasure. We're going to do more of these in the future. I want to see more Trippy Wolf as well. Trippy, I look forward to seeing what you do. Let's see whatever. And it's going to be fun. To reiterate,
Mr. Mike
promote
Larkin.
Facebook. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Had a little bit of a cutout there, folks. It's all right. We're still here. We're still rocking like ZZ Top.
All right. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go.
Facebook, Coriel Coulter. Add me. Instagram, C_DA_Cypher. Snapchat, Rapzilla2306. If you want to get to know me more or get to know me personally, look up my page on Facebook. That is C_Decipher. C_DA_Decipher. Like, I post there when I can. There's got a lot of stuff on there that I posted from the promos, and I think the last thing I posted was, recently what I've wrote down. Like I write out music, so y'all know that part. I posted last time me and Mike Larkin did this, and also I post all the old music like Miss Call and I See Fire. So go ahead and check that out. You will not be disappointed. And also, while I'm on here, I'm gonna promote Mr. Larkin as well on my page. If y'all want to get to know Mr. Larkin, hit him up. He is the man for the reason. He is the machine. And I'm telling you now, you will be entertained.
Why, thank you. Yes. Check out StephenMikeShow.com. Check out Max Wrestling Podcast in the Hot Seat. Check out Lingerie Fighting Championships, Beauty, Strength, and Dominance official LFC podcast. T-shirts are out now. Go on to Teespring, get you a T-shirt, get you a tank top.
Mention the Twitter right now. The Twitter is, I think it's Flex Luther 17.
Yep.
Be on the lookout on the Twitter. Yeah. I think that's it. I don't get on Twitter much, folks, but if you want to tweet me, tweet me.
All right, and before we got cut out, that will conclude this edition of In the Hot Seat. I want to thank Corey for coming on. We got more of these. We got more pop culture shows to do together and shoot the breeze as we do. So, for Cypher, Mr. Corey L. Coulter, my name is Mike Larkin. Thank you all for listening to another edition of Max Wrestling in the Hot Seat. We'll be back to you next time. Thank you very much, Corey.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
The thing that he does so well is he puts a smile on everybody's face.
Your show.
We are going to steal the show.
I guess it's time for a new order.
Have you seen Max Wrestling?
I will show you the light. We're talking about me. We're talking about the podcast machine.
Your boy, Moses Marquez.
Same day, new era.
We are the best at this.
Max Wrestling Podcast every single Thursday. Go to maxwrestlinguk.weebly.com for more information.
What does the shape have to say?
Shake.
It's time to shape up.
It's time for you to prove that you are more than a one-headed wonder.
It's only right for us to set that bar, to set that standard.
I take the shape of whatever I need to be. Travis Anderson, your time has come.
Max Wrestling presents Promo Slam August 20th. Go to maxwrestlinguk.weebly.com for more information.